this boy and that boy. How do we say this is the boy? هذا هو الولد. Marfu case. Starts marfu. Do we all agree with this statement? This is always how this starts. Everybody in this class, in this room, should know this rule. This is the boy. What is hazal walad then? Hazal waladu. This boy. Hazal waladu is this boy. No huwa. Because as soon as you add huwa, it becomes this is the boy. The gender and quantity should match. This is very important because in Quran you will over and over you will see ulaika humud dhalimun. Ulaika humud dhalimun. You will see haulai hunna al-muslimat. Plural, 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 plural male, plural female. These are the Muslim women. Those are the tyrants. Or ulaika humul khasirun. There was a time when Sheikh Jamal was reading during the Taraweeh and over each ayah was ending like this. That must be the ayat where Allah was really, for a lack of a better word, admonishing the losers, the disbelievers, the tyrants. Each ayah would end up with ulaika humul zalimun, ulaika humul khasirun, ulaika humul kafirun. I was like, whoa. So you really need to know this construction because it is directly connected with this. Singular, 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 plural, 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 plural. Everybody in this class should be aware of this. As soon as you remove humma and hunna, what does this become? Sister Aisha, ulaika zalimun, what is the meaning now? Those tyrants. Sister Shazia, ha'ulai al-muslimat, these female Muslims. It's not a complete sentence anymore, it's a segment. But having them makes a complete sentence. Are we clear on that? Some people made the mistake in exam about this too, so I want to review this. So this is thing number 2. Ready for next one, inshallah? We learned that marfu, mansub, and majroor for singular nouns. For singulars, the mansub noun, marfu and majroor. Do all nouns start as a marfu first?
Yes.
Do we all agree?
Yes.
All nouns always start as a marfu?
Yes.
And how do we show marfu, Sister Alia? How do we show marfu noun? Say it again? No. Dhamma, right? It starts as a dhamma. 1 dhamma, 2 dhammas, it depends if it is specific or non-specific, definite or indefinite, right? How does it change to majroor, Sister Fatima? If kitabun needs to change majroor, what needs to happen? Huh? So it will have a kasra. And why would it get a kasra? Possibly because it have a preposition before it. Only the preposition is going to change that. You are not there yet, but advanced class knows there is another rule to make the majroor. Okay? So mudaf mudaf is there. So your Arabic 3 or 4 new are going to learn this soon, and that's why I was having you highlight the page numbers downstairs so that you know this is coming to you. How do we change a noun to mansoob, Brother Azizullah? Fathatan, right? Or one fatha if you have al, right? So this is your cases. Marfu, you might also see rafa. Rafa is for marfu, and jar for majroor, and nasab for mansoob. So these 3 terms. But this is for singulars, right? Now you will be learning, and some of you already know it, of course. 4 and 5 already know it. 3 and 4 new, they're going to learn this. For plurals, how do we show the cases? For plurals, the cases are shown where you put the word and then you have to have it certain way. The marfu for plural is shown with waw noon, majroor is shown by ya noon and ya noon. You don't look for fatha kasra dhamma in plurals. And the new students, Arabic 4 new and Arabic 3, you will be inshallah doing, this will be one of your first lessons. But Arabic 4 seniors and 5, 6, you know this, right? The plural, marfu is shown with waw noon, the dual is shown with ya noon. The majroor and marfu are shown with ya noon. Again, today we'll just take a picture of it. Those who have never done this, I just want to give you basically an idea for future, inshallah. I would say wait until the end, until we finish writing it all. Then you can take one picture with everything.
Should I change the example because it might confuse who are not in the class with kitab not being the best?
Yeah, kitab
Not being the best example of plural.
Yes, and so looking at this set, do we all see waw noon and ya noon role? A better example of this is with the human plural, and I will explain you in a little bit why. So, Muslimun, Muslimin, Muslimin. The reason being, and this is the next topic we are coming to now, the next topic is non-human plurals. Non-human plurals even have a different kind of marfu, mansoob and majroor. So for example, kitab is never plural, the plural is never kitabun. It is actually kutub. Now this is a plural, and Rahma, you're here, right?
She's gone.
She's gone. Yep, she had to go at 1:30. So non-human plural versus human plural, they have a little difference. For non-human plural, it doesn't follow the rules of waw noon and ya noon. Again, you'll be learning this soon, and some of you already know it. In non-human plural, you still show the rafa by dhamma. And sorry, let's put one. In non-human plural, the case is still shown by this way. But in human plural, it is waw noon.
Is
Ya
that
noon.
a broken plural?
And so non-human plurals are often broken plural.
Yeah.
But broken plurals are not always non-human plurals. So there is terminology which I'm bringing here, and I will put it here, broken plural as well. This is a lot of knowledge for Arabic 3 and 4 new, but I'm just giving you a window for future. The broken and non-human plurals are always broken. Broken are not always non-human though. Broken can also be in human plurals. And we will come to that. Whenever it is broken plural or non-human plural, the case is still shown the same way which you have learned for singular. 100% same. Dhamma, kasra, fatha. Whenever it is standard plural, or we call it sound plural. Sound plural always have waw noon or ya noon at the end. For female, alif ta, and so on and so forth. Again, I know that this is a lot of information, but again, I want you to know what we will be getting into soon, inshallah. This being our first lesson. This is going to be our first lesson. You have known this much. Now you need to know how to make the cases for human plurals and non-human and broken plurals.
So we don't have this in English, right? Non-human plurals.
No.
Human plurals.
This is
We are-
strictly a Arabic situation, Arabic grammar situation. English doesn't have that. English has its own issues, but general rule of plural is fairly straightforward.
But is the same rule gonna apply so the mansub and the majroor case, if there's a proposition that comes before it? Is that
Yeah.
where, is the same rule gonna apply into this concept as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The good question is, when does Muslimun change to Muslimin? It will change to Muslimin if you have a preposition before it. When does Muslimun change to Muslimin as a mansoob? It will change to that when it becomes an object of a verb. That rule is still same. It's just that showing the rafa, jar and mansoob, marfu, mansoob and majroor is slightly different for these plural. Just a quick minute. How do I accept it? Video. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Raymond. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Raymond. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Raymond. Walaikum assalam, Brother Raymond. The younger students are not here yet, right?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't be online.
So give them 5 minutes, inshallah. I'm going to put you on mute just for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Hopefully they will join, but you can start working on the previous ayah and then I'll be with you.
Okay. Previous ayah you mean?
The one you missed from them, the 31, 32, I believe.
Okay. Alright.
Alright. I'm just putting you on mute.
Okay, inshallah.
Okay, so this is what is coming your way. What else? The other two things which are coming your way are, and we will stop there for today. Stay focused. I know it is plenty of information, but let's stay focused. The concept of adjectives. Adjectives require you to be known that it is a noun concept. So when you compose two nouns, two or more nouns. One of the question in exam was about composite nouns and people got all confused. When you put 2, 3, 4 nouns next to each other to make a particular kind of construction, there are only two concepts we have learned about that. Adjective is one. Adjective is when you want to say a beautiful house, a beautiful big house, a beautiful big vast house. And in Arabic, colors are also considered part of adjectives. A beautiful red big vast house. All of those are adjectives. So for adjectives, we had learned that 5 rules must be followed. Must be followed. The noun and adjective follow each other. Number 2, they should have same case, same gender, same quantity, and same type. These are 5 rules for adjectives. And again, the new students, you will be learning this. You circled a page, Sister Fatima, Sister Shukri, Aisha, Farah, Brother Sultan. You circled a page and you'll be learning these rules. But again, I want to give you a window into what's coming up next. The advanced students, if you made mistakes in your exams, you need to be aware of this. Adjectives is a composite concept for nouns only. Do adjectives have any verbs in them? No. You don't describe an action that I am beautiful eating. You don't say it like that, right? So verbs and adjectives will never come next to each other. Adjectives are strictly a nouns concept. And adjective have 5 rules. Is everyone clear on that part? You have to have 5 rules. Adjective follows noun. Follows noun. Adjective must have the same case as noun. Adjective must have the same gender as noun. Adjective must have the same quantity as noun. Adjective must have the same type as the noun. And these are the rules we will be learning. Some trouble happens. Yeah, go ahead, Bilal.
If noun is always followed by adjective, if it's otherwise, so is it incorrect or grammatically wrong?
It's grammatically wrong, incorrect,
Never
and it
happens.
won't make sense. Yeah. I mean, unless Allah chooses to do so, in Quran you will never see. In Quran you will always see adjective following the noun. Now what happens if your noun is female? gender, quantity, type, all of that will need to follow the rules. What happens if your noun is dual? What happens if your noun is plural? What happens if your noun is sound plural? What happens if your noun is non-human plural? What happens if your noun is broken plural? All these rules come into picture. Because one major rule about broken and non-human plural is that broken and non-human plural are always referred by single female. This is a very tricky rule, very hard rule. So I will go into detail later on. This is why I didn't put it up here. This will just confuse the heck out of you. So I would say don't worry about this rule a whole lot yet. But it is coming towards you. So when that happens, all these adjective rules must follow. The gender, the female, the quantity, all of this changes accordingly. So you will have books, the books which have not given out to everybody yet, but advanced already have that book, the small easy Arabic grammar, this one, and 9 books are still sitting in the car to be given to everybody else. They have been sitting in the car for 2 months. So this book, everybody should get a copy eventually. So that is something we need to get to. So I went through the verb, subject, object. I talked about assertive sentence. I talked about plurals, singular, plural cases, then non-human plurals, adjectives. And finally, the last concept I want you to know about, which is coming our way, is the possessive. Possessive. Mudaf, mudaf. Mudaf. Generally, it means something of something. Like house of Allah. Knowledge of unseen. The grammar rule is that you always have to find out what is possessor here. What is possessor? And this is where we'll stop, as I said today. What is possessor? In case of house of Allah, who is the possessor?
Allah.
The word Allah is possessing house. Allah's house. That's another way we say in English, right? Allah's house. Knowledge of unseen. Who is the possessor? Unseen. Right? Unseen's knowledge. Okay? So that tells you, in Arabic, the rule is that your possessor will always be in majroor case. Your possessor will always be in majroor case. What is being possessed can be any case. Can be Dhamma, can be Fatha, can be Kasra. It can be any of them. But your possessor must be in majroor case. So possessor, and this was a question in the exam and people made mistakes. Possessor, this is called mudaf ilayh, is always majroor. And pay close attention. Many of us often say, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Why do you say it as rahmatullahi? Allah's rahmat, Allah's blessing, blessing of Allah, blessing of Allah. And the possessor must always have, majroor always have to be majroor case. So rahmatullahi cannot be said as rahmatullaha or rahmatullahu. It always has to be rahmatullahi. Right? You use that on a regular basis. Or when you say at-tahiyyat, in at-tahiyyat you're also using mudaf ilayh without knowing about it. But that's how we memorized it, right? So you want to be aware that your mudaf ilayh always have this construction where the last noun possessor is always going to be majroor. Is that clear to everyone?
Yep.
As I said, some of you already know it, some of you are going to know it. The only problem again, if your possessor is a singular plural, singular noun, then you use the kasra to show the majroor. Agreed? If it is singular, then you're going to use kasra. If you are sound plural, then you have to use ya noon. This is why you have Rabbil Alameen. Assalam. Not ready yet. 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we'll wait. Chit chat then.
Yep,
Okay.
inshallah. Just 5 more minutes. Sorry, brother.
No problem.
If it is sound plural, then it has to be ya noon. If it is broken plural, you will again use kasra. If it is non-human plural, So you have to follow the rules of non-human, broken, human, sound, all that, inshallah. But there's no ifs and buts that it has to be majroor. Up till now you thought that majroor is shown by kasra. But now you're going to learn that majroor is not just shown by kasra, it can also be shown by yanun for sound plurals. For female plurals, which I have not put up here, it will be used will be shown by alif ta with a kasra. So you're going to get to these details. But I wanted you to know that these 6 concepts, the verb, subject, object, assertive, cases, broken and non-broken, adjectives, possessive, all of this we need to work on. Some of you worked on it but had mistakes, so we'll correct those mistakes. Some of you have not even learned these, and you'll be learning. Inshallah. Does that set the tone, inshallah? The books Yusuf showed you, at least half of the group. Other half already knows where it is in the book, but we'll need to work on the gaps and wrap it up, inshallah. So Dawra 3, which you did with the Sadaf, Dawra 3, these kind of questions will be coming then. The Dawra 3 is not just about preposition, nouns and verbs anymore, but rather, besides that, what kind of nouns? Is it composite noun? Is it a verb with a broken human subject, object, or human subject, object? All these questions will start wrapping up together. Is it an assertive statement? Or is it an adjective statement? Is it a mudaf ilayh statement? So in Dawra 3, we like to ask these questions so that you keep practicing your grammar too. You keep practicing your grammar too. Does it make sense, inshallah? Any questions now? Because this is where I would like to stop to give you a, and it's hard to explain this to the students who missed, but we'll see what we can do next week. Take pictures so that you can help me about this, help next week as needed. But this is what you are going to get into, inshallah. All good, all better, inshallah? Yes. Let me answer any questions. Those who didn't learn these concepts yet, they are coming to you, so your questions are not going to be fully answered today. But advanced students, if you have questions about this and you want to clarify, go ahead and ask. Which means Arabic 4 seniors and 5, 6. This is a recap for some of you, and this is a window for some of you. So let's prepare for this and we'll go from that. Now, the reason we do all the Quran, because we want to understand our deen, right? And one of the best ways to understand our deen, of course, is Quran, followed by Sunnah, and so on. So we need to see how we're going to manage with Brother Ahmad's class. This is July. July is almost here, actually. The baby is expected, inshallah, mid-July to end of July. We might have to stop Aqidah class. But if we do, we will take that time to discuss our projects anyway. Projects is something we need to do between 12 and 12:30, but 6 months I haven't been able to do it because of so much going on, inshallah. So what you want to do is, we will take that time to discuss paint in this building, the carpet, the bathroom issue, the money situation. All these things are coming, and we don't need to discuss it today, but we do need to eventually do it. And I'm hoping that maybe we can talk with the masjid management, just invite him here one of the days, at least the president, and tell him what we can suggest. We can suggest them that we have enough money to do the carpet cleaning and painting, and we can do it on our own. But then they are also telling me that they want to take this whole building down eventually next year and rebuild. And when that happens, what are we going to do? We are using that building. We used it yesterday for school, and it is very hard. It was so hot you cannot even change temperature there anymore. So there was like 8 kids of 6 and 7 years of age, and they had to study in the 80 degrees. So we want to avoid those kind of things. So this building, may Allah reward them. It has a lot of benefits. But just something to start thinking about when we meet next week. So if we do the paint now and they're going to take the building down, does it work to paint? Or do we just do a little bit of patching here and there? Fix the bathroom, because without bathroom we cannot live. The carpet issue here, we did the cleaning last year, right? So what do we want to do? So just start thinking, and let's have a discussion next week, inshallah, in my opinion. I will have him do the Aqidah class here today instead of downstairs. But all of you start thinking hard why Aqidah class was started And where are we at now? Because many people are gone or not attending the class. Is it best use of his time? Right now at least. Maybe in September we can restart with a little bit of schedule change or something. But something to think about. Sisamo.
Yeah, if we don't have updated, it would be really nice to go back to what it was, have tafsir. We used to have a tafsir for
Tafsir of Quran.
where we so far passed. I mean, that was really helpful. It clears out a lot of and made us more interested.
Okay, so let me figure out with
That was
him.
before that later.
So in case he leaves, and you know the pregnancy inshallah goes well and everything, but in case he has to
No, I'm
take some
talking
time
about
off next year,
He's
right?
coming back.
And so in September, you know how things go and everything, maybe we can consider that. But can Aqidah and Tafsir go hand in hand, or just focus